And welcome back. This is Harold Pressley here with another edition of YesKingScoop.com. I am not your host, but that is, I just wanted to start it all off. Yes, again, I'm Harold Pressley, Malcolm Means, and we are going to tell you what's happening here with the Sacramento Kings coming up for week number 3.
Yes. Right now, Sacramento sits at a record of 3-3. Now, tomorrow they got a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. What do you expect out of them coming up against them?
Well, after the last game that I watched the other night, I expect them to come out fully prepared to give, and I'm going to say it, to give Minnesota a beatdown. It really should turn into an ugly situation somewhere around the end of the third quarter. The Kings need to get back on track. Obviously, it was a tough loss against well, it wasn't a tough loss. They got punched in the face against the Los Angeles Lakers, and then you come back and you expect them to have a very nice next game. Well, they were kind of feeling that punch in the mouth from the Lakers, and it kind of dragged over to the next game. Yeah. So going into Minnesota, I think they're going to just come down and pound Minnesota and get back on track. But then you go on the road the next night or whatever it is.
Friday, they've got a game against Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix has been playing extremely well, and we know what they can do. But the great thing about that matchup is that the Kings like to run as well, and the Kings are bigger, stronger.
Right.
They're younger,
yes,
which is going to play a part. I think, although that little point guard that they have at Phoenix, he does not age.
Steve Nash.
He is still running as hard as he can run,
man,
and he's putting up the numbers that you just expect from Steve Nash, a Hall of Famer.
And people always say he's always in the ballot for being the MVP each year.
It won't happen this year. He's not in the ballot this year, but you know that he's going to provide. He's the glue for that team. He's going to make sure that things happen. That team is one that they can't afford to lose a Steve Nash, because everything will shut down without Steve Nash.
Well, I think Tyreek can put a lot of pressure on him.
Tyreek, and what obviously everybody knows, is Tyreek brings to the page. He's big and strong, 6'5", athletic, and just takes you to the hole like no other point guard we've ever seen in the Sacramento era.
Yeah.
Which is truly a fun thing for me to see, because my question at the beginning of the season was, what is Tyreek going to do after a rookie season that he had last year? What will he follow it up with?
Right.
And right now, the numbers are even better than they were last year, which is surprising, because he had the better group of talent, the players around him. So I didn't expect him to be at 22 points and almost 6 rebounds this year.
Yes.
I thought his points would fall off just a little bit, but he increased them.
He's doing what he has to do. Right now he's shooting 40% from the three-point line, almost 50% from the field. That's terrific.
Pretty easy for a guy who just drives to the basket every time, gets a lot of layups. I had to shoot 3-point shots. It was tough.
Now, let's talk about Bano right now. Bano's struggling right now. Bano's shooting 14%.
See, he's not shooting well, but what I see from him is when Tyreek goes out of the game, he does a nice job of controlling everything. He makes sure that everybody's in their proper place. That's the guy who's fallen off a little bit, because he has more talented people around him. He's able to pass, and he's just got to find he's going to find that middle ground where he doesn't have to shoot every time.
Right.
He doesn't have to now create and make a shot like he had to do a couple of years ago.
Right.
Now he's in a position where he can actually create and drop it off. So he's trying to get comfortable with the rest of the guys. It was easy for Tariq, because Tariq can play with anybody in the world.
Right.
Bano has to feel out who's on the court with him.
And right now, Cisco, he's doing a fantastic job, averaging. He's second leading scorer on the team with 14.3 points a game right now.
I think that's wonderful. I don't think that's going to last, simply because I think the big guys are going to finally, it takes the big guys a little longer than the guards to figure out how they can be effective in the league, in the game, with a new team, and I think the big guys will start turning that on. And that's when you're going to see the real Sacramento Kings. Right now you see a group of young guys who are learning how to play together. You got a couple of guys who are learning how to play in the NBA.
Right.
All that takes time,
right,
and you see them growing. they just have to start clicking it and figure it all out. And that's not, you're still in early November.
Right.
That is going to happen. December, you'll see a different team. Come January, you will see a team that's pretty hungry. And February, All-Star break, you're going to see a couple of guys get into the All-Star game and shootouts and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think Tyreek right now, he's leading the way for his teammates and setting everyone up, like Baino coming in, knocking down easy shots, Francisco coming in, knocking down these shots. And again, that stretches out the defense again, so that once you get the ball out on the three-point line, you can dump it in and let your big guys kind of go ahead and work and bang and do those things.
You want the truth of the matter?
Yes.
Tyreek Evans could average 30 points if he wanted to.
No question.
If he wanted to, but the key for him is to win. He wants to win, so whatever it's going to take. If he has to score, he's going to score. If he has to drop off the ball for a layup, he's going to drop it off to his big man. If he needs to kick it out to Baino or any number of guys at Garcia,
right,
whoever he needs to kick it out to, he's going to do whatever it takes. And that's a special young man to understand that he can go ahead and
he doesn't have to always get hits.
He can always do that anytime he's ready to do it.
Right.
I mean, the Laker game was a prime example. He just said, okay, you know what, now it's time.
Right.
And he turned it on.
Right.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have waited that long, but we do know that he can turn it up anytime he's ready. But he's got to bring his teammates along, and that's why you see him pass more than you would think he should.
Right.
And he's only 21 years old. 20 or 21?
I believe 20.
He's
20,
right there. He's
yeah.
20, 21 years old, and he's a second-year player. All that takes time, but you see how special this guy is.
Well, the numbers don't lie right now. He's doing it offensively. He's doing it defensively. He's got, I believe, 2 steals per game. He's grabbing boards as well, leading the people into the breaks, and I think that right there, with the rebounds and the great defense that he's been playing, he feeds that whole team off of that.
You can talk about him all day long, all day.
I want
in the
to
country
too,
can. Let's go on to some of the other guys. The thing that I'm impressed with, the thing that I have never seen out of a Sacramento King was a Dallenberg. You're talking about a guy who just completely clogs up the middle. He's playing 21 minutes a game. He's averaging close to 9 rebounds a game. He's only averaging 3 points, but he's making sure that anybody comes in the middle is either going to feel it by fouling him, or he's going to block the shot. More than that, he's going to alter most of the shots that come inside. So you see a lot of teams shooting from the outside. You see a lot of teams just pulling up before they get to him because they understand that this guy is special on defense.
Yeah, right now, Sacramento, opponents that shoot the ball against Sacramento right now shoot a little bit higher percentage than the Kings. They shoot about 41%. Sacramento shoots 34% right now from the three-point land. So I think that's a direct correlation to what you're saying about him being an intimidator on the inside. Shoot it from deep. Prove it.
You're going to have to take it outside.
Prove it.
To throw on top of that, Sacramento, obviously, we talked about this early. They did a great job in getting big, long, athletic guys this year that can come in and change the game from the inside. And you throw in Carl Landry. Not so much that he's athletic, but he is terrific around the basket. You give him the ball, he's going to somehow find a way to put it in the hole.
Yeah.
And he's tough, he's strong, and he has a no-sense attitude. He's just going to give it to you. Yeah. He's going to punish you each and every night that he gets in the game, he gets on the floor. He's going to just beat up people, and I love that about him. I don't think, I truly think that this is a guy who, his goal is just to have fun, because I see him, he's not really smiling, but you can see in his eyes he's having fun when he gets contact.
Yeah, and he likes it. He likes it. He goes down, bangs on people, and then the next thing you know, he's cheering every time he gets a bucket. He's just one of those, almost like a Rodman type. You know how Rodman used to just get those putbacks, and the next thing you know, you have the fist pump going?
Again, there's certain names you just can't bring up with me.
Rodman's not one of them. Okay.
Rodman, it was a battle every time he got on the floor. You just knew you're going to get pushed, you're going to get hit. He was a terrific player, I got to tell you.
Right.
From seeing him, we came out at the same time, so seeing him in the rookie camps where you thought, what a clown. Why are you putting your hands up? What are you doing out there where, there's nobody in the crowd? Who are you turning to? To where he became, if it wasn't for how crazy it was, probably could have got into the Hall of Fame. If it wasn't for how crazy he was.
He'll still get there.
Yeah, I don't
He'll
know.
still get there. They can't blackball him.
It's going to be way long from now because they remember how crazy it was. Remember, he put on a gown. Put on a wedding dress.
Okay, he did. He did. Riding around on a Harley.
That's not really what you want to represent
for the
in
NBA.
the NBA.
Right on. So we've got 2 games we talked about. We've got one more game on Sunday against the Detroit Pistons. So I think win.
Flat out win.
They look like the New Jersey Nets from last year when they went 0-18. I don't know if they're going to go that long.
You got to remember, New Jersey didn't have what they had, what they have right now. New Jersey is coming strong.
Right. They
look pretty. If you talk about an owner that doesn't mind spending money, go out and get whatever it takes to make it happen. They have an owner right now that says we want to win and we want to win now. So those guys are playing some basketball as well.
Oh yeah, I said it the last time. I said Brook Lopez. I believe it's Brook Lopez.
One of the Lopez.
Yeah. I said he's a bum. He's terrible, and he came out and he shut me up. He went for 29 points and 18 rebounds. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer of that guy now.
One game makes you a believer?
When you put it on like that, you've got to say yes.
And you know, sometimes it's just a matter of where you are and who's your coach and how they let you play the game.
Right.
You know, there was a year where I was top in most categories with the Kings.
Right.
Well, then there was a year where I was on the bench most of the time with the Kings. So it's really a matter of who you're playing for and do they believe in you and do they want you around.
Oh, well, they've got Avery Johnson over there, so he
understands.
understands.
Avery, and you talk about Sam Mitchell's also with him.
Right.
Those are 2 guys who really started in the CBA.
Right.
They started in the CBA. They worked their way up to the NBA. Both of them had terrific careers. Avery won a championship, and then they moved on to become assistant coaches for years and years until they got to the head coach status. And both of them, unfortunately, I think it was a year or 2 years after each one of them was the coach of the year, they both got fired.
I don't understand that.
That was very strange, but that's what happened. So now they're back and they're back together. They understand each other and they understand players. And you're going to see them just grow and grow.
I saw an interview with Devin Harris from New Jersey, and he seems like he's just bright-eyed, happy to be there because, first off, he started off with Dallas, and to get traded from Dallas to New Jersey,
that was a blow.
That was a serious blow. But to see him now, he's smiling, he's having a little bit of fun, and you can see his confidence is up, and the talent that they have around there. They're going to be a tough team for the Kings to beat up on.
They're going to be a tough team for anybody to beat up on.
I think, like you said, though, I think that the Kings may have a punch in the mouth for them.
They need it. You know, obviously, when they played New Jersey a while back, they actually had a chance to win that game.
They were up by 17.
They should have won that game, and then they just let things go. So they're going to remember that. And let me tell you, for those who think, no, you don't remember things that happen, it's not true. You remember pretty much everything that ever happens to you in the NBA. All right? And you do look for payback. They're going to say the right things, but I'm here to tell you that you do look for payback.
Okay. All right. We'll take it from him. He's been around the block a few times. Anything else you want to add about these next couple of games?
No, that's enough for me.
All right. Well, stay tuned for the next time. Hopefully we'll be back for week 4. We'll see you then. Take care.